A list of mania. Think less but see it grow.
Hello everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome and welcome to the March 2017 edition of 10 for 12. And oh, this is going to be a fun one, which you probably guessed by the crazy shirt that I'm wearing. And you probably also know, if you've been to my channel long enough, that I have worn this one specific shirt when it comes to one specific topic. And this is a topic that I really was excited for because it was one that I've had in my list of things to discuss on 10 for 12 for many months now, and that is your 10 favorite anime shows. Not movies, we are going with shows only. And of course, I've got two awesome collaborators with me doing this. I've got Laura over at the MagicOfTheWhitepages, a great booktuber and Funko Pop collector and anything else pop culture that she loves, as well as my friend Melissa over at the Bookish Babbler. Just want to let everybody know you're going to be hearing her name a lot in the videos that I'm going to be posting pretty much the entire year, especially considering the fact that she is one of my friends who does my DC Animated Universe live show along with Brian Lomax. So yeah, she is someone that you are going to hear about a lot on my show, and if you haven't checked her out yet, there will be links provided to her and Laura, as well as their respective videos. So once again, we are going to be talking about our 10 favorite anime shows. I have no idea what their choices are, because this is always a blind box. But before we begin, I am going to give you guys an honorable mention, and that of course is the American-made anime, I should say, sensation on the internet from Rooster Teeth, and that is RWBY. RWBY is such an amazing show. It is anime meets grim fairy tales meets Harry Potter. It is just one of the coolest things that I have ever seen, and it has been on for 4 years. The 4th season was absolutely fantastic, and I am so excited to see what Rooster Teeth has in store for us next year. I'm really curious to see how long this show is going to go, because there's so much more to tell and so many more mysteries to be solved. But anyway, let's get into the 10 for 12, shall we? Number 10 is actually one of the most legendary animes of all time. It came out in 1972, and that is Gatchaman. In America, it was also known as Battle of the Planets, and at another further point down the line, it was known as G-Force, which is the heavily edited version. It is one of the coolest animes ever made, and the only reason why it is so low on my list is because I have not been able to see the entire series. It is super hard to find. I'd love to see this series in its entirety. I know that there was supposed to be a CGI movie that was supposed to come out, but it never actually got off the ground. If you haven't seen Gatchaman, you really should. It really was like Power Rangers before Power Rangers. Very well done and very well executed. Number 9 is Love Hina. I'm more of a romantic comedy fan than I am the big robots and the action, but this is the story of a guy who basically has a childhood memory lost, and he's trying to fulfill a promise to this long-lost love of his by going to the same university as her. And it turns out that since he has no money and he can't get into the college that he wants, he ends up being the manager of an all-girls dormitory. It is really funny, it's got tons of slapstick and a really romantic love story in there too. If you want to see one great romantic comedy, I highly recommend Love Hina. Number 8 is Neon Genesis Evangelion. Probably one of the most dramatic animes that I ever saw. The big robots, the teenage anxiety, kids having to become adults because of a post-apocalyptic situation. It is one of the most grandest of all animes. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend that you check it out one day. Number 7 is Azumanga Daioh. It is such a cute little story about high school girls and one of them being a 10-year-old prodigy. Each and every one of the characters is unique. The teachers are just as wacky, if not crazier, than the kids. And it's just got so many different personalities that will just make you love and laugh about high school and life. Number 6 is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. What is the best way to describe this anime? Picture The Breakfast Club meets The X-Files meets Scooby-Doo. It is the story of a girl who wants to find the extraordinary things in life. She wants to find aliens, she wants to find people with telekinesis, she wants to find time travelers. And then there's this boy named Kion that loved all that stuff but just wants to grow up. And they become friends. And then they create this little society within school to find all of these crazy people. But there's a little thing that Haruhi does not know about that Kion happens to know. And she can't know what he knows, otherwise the entire world is going to collapse on itself. And that's all that I'm going to say about The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Number 5 is another romantic comedy. It is Ranma 1/2. What is the best way to describe this one? It's the story about a guy who has been betrothed to a girl, and while he and his father were on their way to see this girl and her family, they ended up training in this land surrounded by these little pools. And they both happened to fall into different pools. What they didn't know was that each pool had a curse, and the boy fell into the pool of drowned girl, which means that every time Ranma gets wet, he turns into a girl. And the only way to get rid of that is to douse him with hot water to turn him back into a man. It is fun, it is funny, it's also got great charismatic characters. It's a very long show, it actually lasted for 7 years, and I highly recommend that you check that one out if you're looking for another good romantic comedy. Number 4 is probably one that you've never heard of, and it is called Princess Nine. If you are a fan of sports, if you are a fan of a movie specifically like A League of Their Own, this is every great sports movie merged into one. It's the story of an all-girls baseball team in a high school that is created alongside their male baseball team counterpart, because a brand new student comes and she happens to throw a very good fastball. So they put a team of misfits together along with a drunk coach, and their goal is to make it to the championships. Will they do it? You gotta watch the show if you want to find out. Princess Nine's the name of the show. Number 3, well, you knew this was going to come up somewhere, but it's not going to be one show in particular. It's the entire Dragon Ball series, because Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and yes, now the new Dragon Ball Super, as well as all the movies, are all one long story. It is rich, it is vibrant, so many great moments, so many great characters. It is so hard to pick a favorite in that series of shows. But Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama just made something special, and he gave us one of the most legendary anime series of all time, and it is pretty much alongside shows like Pokemon and Sailor Moon that made the anime genre so popular in the United States today. Number 2 is Your Lie in April. It's a short show, but oh my god, this drama hits like a brick. I cried. I swear to you, you have no idea how amazing this show is. About coming of age, about teenage anxiety, about music, about love, about loss. You could probably find a whole bunch of reviews on Your Lie in April and will probably get the same thing that I am saying. I highly recommend, if you just want to see absolute storytelling perfection, Your Lie in April. But it's not my number 1, because there's just one that I think is a little bit better, and that is Samurai 7. Based on the Akira Kurosawa movie, Seven Samurai, as well as The Magnificent Seven, this is the story that takes place with 7 samurai going to rescue a little town overtaken by bandits in a post-apocalyptic future, and the bandits are gigantic mechas. It is such an incredible show. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but the character development is so rich, and the story complements it very well. If you love the original film, if you love The Magnificent Seven, you have to see Samurai 7. It got critical acclaim of all places in the New York Times, and that, my friends, is not fake news. And that is it, everybody. Those are my 10 favorite animes. Please leave your comments in the box below. I'd love to have a discussion with you and know what your favorite animes are. And of course, I have to thank Laura and Melissa for doing this 10 for 12 with me. I'm looking forward to seeing your videos, ladies, and I will see all of you in the next episode of 10 for 12. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.